People have asked me over the years, what are my favorite songs from the rock band Krokus? This is the Rock and Roll Weatherman. My name is Sean Morrison. There are a lot of songs I like from this band, and I'll be before we get into this. The first three Krokus albums before Mark Storaci, I'm not including because I honestly never really listened to them. Maybe one day I will. One of the other guitar players, of course, was singing lead on one of the albums. But I'm going to start from the Metal Rendezvous album, and that was the first one to feature Mark Storaci. And on that album, did a lot of great songs on there, which Heat Strokes, Bedside Radio, and of course Tokyo Nights. Those are the three best songs on that album. And let's not forget the song Lady Double Dealer. Now we go to the Hardware album. And on the Hardware album, we had that I'm sorry about this. We had this song called Smelly Nelly. Yes, that's the name of the song. Smelly Nelly. Mr. 69, Winning Man, and Burning Bones. Um, Four more songs that I do like from Krokus that are my favorites. They're not in any order, friends, so let's not don't get too crazy. Now we're gonna get into the Headhunter album. And of course that's the one with let me yeah, that I'm gonna get back to something in a second after that, but that's whole album was a lot of great songs. Headhunter, Eat the Rich, Screaming in the Night, and of course Stay Awake All Night. And let and that was a remake of a Bachman Turner Overdrive song. Let's not forget another song called Russian Winter. Now, did I skip one vice at a time? I'm trying to remember if I did that. Yeah, oh, what a nice guy. I skipped the One Vice at a Time album. And then, of course, Long Stick Goes Boom, which definitely is the most popular song off the album. And then we have American Woman. That was another Guess Who remake. And let's not forget another track they had called Save Me. I did mention Headhunter. Now, which one had one of them had to Eat the Rich. Now, which fucking one had? Oh, Eat the Rich was on Headhunter. Of course, Headhunter, Eat the Rich. Did mention that Screaming in the Night? Yes, I did. I did do this album. And well, where else did we go? All right, after Headhunter, we had the Blitz, and they were going they were going more commercial on this album. They had for their first Hot 100 single, the Midnight Maniac, the only one in the United States that become the first Swiss act to do so. And they had another great song on there called Boys Night Out, which was written by Brian Adams and Jim Valance, which was supposed to be on the Brian Adams Reckless album, but it was left off until its 30-year anniversary reissue. Great song it is. And also, let's not forget Our Love. You hear that on Hand Nation every so often. And of course, the song Out to Lunch was another cool one. Ballroom Blitz, of course, the cover from The Suite, which is another one they're here that they're most popular for. And let's not forget a song called Rock the Nation. Now, now we go to Change of Address, and that was one that was very commercial, and the band does not perform any songs off that album to this date. And they say it's one of the worst um, efforts from the band, and they claim the musical style was under the pressure from their record company. But I did like the song. I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna get to it now. Burning Up Tonight, which was there was a video for that song. I thought it was a cool song. I thought the whole record was good. So people have a right to their opinions. It started off with Now. Hot Shot City was another good one. Their version of School's Out. Let's not forget that, of course. Let This Love Begin. And then we also had a couple other songs that were good. Say Goodbye, as well as Hard Luck Hero. Then we go to another underrated record, which was the only album they did for MCA Records, called Heart Attack. And that was the last attempt to keep the band together in a deep crisis, and a lot of great songs on there, which include "Winning Man," which was written on the Hardware album. "Everybody Rocks," "Wild Love," "Let It Go," and let's not forget "Rock and Roll Tonight" and "Shoot Down the Night." Definitely, "Heart Attack" is a very excellent album. Then we had "Stampede," and this um was a whole different lineup, and Mark Storace was not in the band at the time. The singer, whole different lineup except for Fernando Van Ab, I believe. Yeah, um, Peter Tanner was the vocals, and what I remember from this album was, oh, I'm not knocking it. It's okay, but "Rock and Roll Gypsy" was a good one. Then we had "To Rock or Not to Be," which did feature Mark Storace on vocals and everything, and that was a good song, "To Rock or Not to Be." And we also had another good one called "Talking Like a Shotgun." It's been a while since I've listened to this album. Round 13 came out in 1991. Not one of the best Krokus albums ever, but this is the only Krokus album to feature on vocals "Call Sentence," which is formerly of a band called Persian Risk, and he was also a member of the Geezer Butler Band, and he's in another band now. Yes, he's actually the current lead vocalist of that band, Nazareth, out of all things. Yeah, that's where you might know him these days. And they had this song, "Heya" and "Money Back," which were okay. And let's not forget "Gypsy Love," but not one of my favorite Krokus albums. And yeah, it's in print shockingly, but I'm just gonna get to that in a second. It was just, I remember ordering that on an import, and I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? Then we go back to "Rock the Block" came out in 2003, and that featured Mark Storace back on the band again. That was a good thing, and lots of cool songs were on that album, which included "I Want It All," "One for All," and let's not forget "Throwing to China" and "Looking to America" as good songs off that album. And in 2006, "Hellraiser," which was another good one, and apparently it did peak at number 200 on the Billboard Top 200 according to what I read. First album on the chart since the Heart Attack album, but the great song "Hellraiser," the title track, was great. So was "Spirit of the Night." We go to the 2010 album called "Hoodoo," which was with members of the classic lineup, and "Hoodoo Woman" was featured in the soundtrack of a movie called Saw 3D, and of course that was a good song. Also, "Born to Be Wild," their version of it appears on here. This album was like a fucking great album. Don't get me wrong, love this album. "Hoodoo Woman," like I said, "Born to Be Wild," their version, "Rock and Roll Handshake," as well as "Dirty Street." Lots of good songs off that album. Then they came out in 2013 with an album called "Dirty Dynamite," and this, I remember telling Janaki, the cover of the album is a bulldog with sunglasses on, smoking a cigarette.
Yes.
That was fucking it was fucking funny, and definitely it got a lot of good positive reviews and everything. Great song off of it. It started off "Hallelujah Rock and Roll," "Dirty Dynamite." They also had a their own version of "Help" from the Beatles, which was actually pretty good. Even even had a song called "The Dog Song." Oh God, I remember that one. And then "Rattlesnake Shake" was another good one. Then you had the Big Rocks album. That was a cover album. I haven't listened to that one in a while. I never owned it, but I don't think no. That's the last album they have to date. I'm not counting live albums or anything, but they have their own versions of songs, and they had a. This is a song I was thinking of before in another video I was talking about. They had their own version of the House of the Rising Sun. Um, their own version of the Queen song "Tie Your Mother Down," which I actually did like, and "Rockin' on the Free World" was pretty cool as well. And I wanted to give you one more song on it that I thought was all right. I'm just looking at my thing here. Quinn the Eskimo. I don't know who wrote that song, but they do perform that sometimes at shows, or I've seen it in their set list. But let's not forget that version of Jumpin' Jack Flash. Friends, if you're not subscribed to the Sean Morrison YouTube channel, please do so. Everyone else out there subscribed. We thank you much for the continued love, honor, and support. It's greatly appreciated. So, friends, I thank you for listening on this video on some of my favorite songs from the band Krokus. So if you're listening to this video, what are some of your favorite songs from Krokus? You can leave them here. Thank you for listening to this video. Thanks again. Shame, shame, shame.